Will Dylan Brock be able to unravel the mystery of his missing father, Eddie? Or does this symbiote conspiracy end up running too deep? Well, let's hop into the pages of Venom issue number 3 and find out together, shall we? So then, as the comic opens up, we're on the brand new island base of Carlton Drake and the Life Foundation. He's talking to his newest military operative, a man by the name of Carson, all about his own long history with the symbiotes and how much what they thought they knew has changed over the years. Used to be they thought that they needed human hosts to live. Used to be they thought that they would actually eat their host from the inside. Now these symbiotes have their own gods and dragons, and Lord only knows what they're going to learn about them tomorrow. And it's that lust for knowledge that we discover is the driving force behind Drake and the Life Foundation. He doesn't want to stop Venom, he doesn't want to kill Venom, he just wants to experiment on him and poke as many holes in the symbiotes as he possibly can so he can learn everything there is to learn and, turn a profit along the way. Now back over with Dylan Brock, he had been saved by the Life Foundation by Miss Archer, one of his father's old journalist friends back in the day when they were both war correspondents. Archer says that her and Eddie were never exactly great friends. She always thought that he was trying to work her for leads, but when she got a mysterious message from Eddie at their old dead drop site saying that he would be dead within 6 days, that's just kind of not the story that any self-respecting journalist in their right mind would ever turn down. Given the information by Eddie, Archer was able to investigate what she believes to be a massive conspiracy codenamed the Absent Throne. A complex web of conspirators that just so happens to include the Crane political machine, the newly reformed Life Foundation, as well as several other shell companies that are making fortunes hand over fist almost as if they were able to see the future and who all seem to have some sort of invested interest in symbiotes. Archer also thinks she may have been able to find one of their less guarded research facilities, and she thinks that if her and Dylan are able to get inside, they might be able to find the answers thereafter. Now, it's right around here that things get really interesting. You see, when it's time to go, Dylan actually doesn't want to take the Venom symbiote with him for a number of reasons. Dylan never really asked to become the new Venom. He fears the transformation, and he fears that it may bring out his own inner darkness. After all, he's a kid who's been struggling with a lot of anger issues recently. But the biggest reason of all for Dylan turning away from his father's old suit is that, well, the Venom suit reminds him so much of his dad every time he looks at him. And how does the Venom suit feel about it? Well, equally complex. The Venom suit feels like he's being sidelined, which is pretty bad for a symbiote creature that needs to live with someone else. The suit also very much misses Eddie, the most important person in his life, and let us also not forget the new King in Black, the god of the symbiotes who has now gone missing. In fact, the Venom suit says that it probably would have left Dylan a long time ago were it not for that love and devotion of Eddie. Every time he wants to leave, he remembers that Eddie would want him to stay and protect his kid. Basically, the poor Venom suit is like one of those step-parents who ends up being sole guardian after their partner dies. So yeah, to make a long story short, the Venom suit will stay behind and Dylan will be backed up by Sleeper the cat as they make their way inside this strange research facility. Archer proves to be more than capable of taking care of herself, tasering a number of guards, which is a little irregular for a journalist, but when you find out what happens next, it all makes a lot more sense. You see, it turns out this whole trip is actually a trap. Archer had gotten too close to the Absent Throne, and they gave her two options: either work for them and deliver Dylan Brock, or die. Sleeper puts up a valiant effort to protect Dylan, but unfortunately he ends up getting taken out by a bunch of the sonic weapons. We also discover that Archer just isn't working for the Absent Throne. Her handler happens to be Liz Allen. Yes, that's right, old Spider-Man supporting character and the current head of Alchemax, who we discover just so happens to be the Life Foundation's #1 rival in the upcoming symbiote superweapon war. And while Alchemax may very well have fired the first shot, the Life Foundation is planning on going down swinging. They have their own brand new advancement that they're bringing into this symbiote arms race, and they call it the Spearhead suit, a special state-of-the-art battle suit that Drake hopes Carson will be able to pilot into the next generation of symbiote fighting. And so that was Venom issue number 3, everybody, and I'm very happy to report that this one managed to really reignite my interest in a way that I didn't think it could. And it had nothing to do with the actions or the deep cuts both to symbiote lore and Spider-Man lore. No, it was the complex emotional journey of Dylan and the symbiote that really has me interested now. I was really worried that this Ram v. Al Ewing era was mostly just going to be Dylan retreading stuff that his dad has already done. Thankfully, this issue says that no, that won't be the case. They will be going on their own unique journeys. After all, these are two characters who have been thrown together really only because of their relationship to Eddie. Now he's gone and they're forced to make it work. I always personally felt Carlton Drake was a little bit of a lame milquetoast villain, so I'm glad to see Liz Allen and Alchemax are also going to be involved in the proceedings here and that he's actually part of a much bigger symbiote-related threat. This issue also seeks to imply that moving forward, Venom is going to be something of a time travel story too. We know that Eddie is alive somewhere in the distant future or past. Again, it's all weirdly relative. And if I had to guess, I would say that whatever Eddie is doing over in his own timeline is going to affect what Dylan is doing in the main timeline. It's a cool outside-the-box idea and something that I wouldn't think would make a lot of sense for a character like Venom, but hey, Donny Cates reinvented the wheel, so why can't they reinvent it again? Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one another 8 out of 10. It looks like this book is really finding its identity and its footing, and you just love to see it. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.